everyone, this is Spartan CC bringing you a Castle Clash video today. So today I'm going to be going over talents. So just talents in general, what talents you want to put on your heroes, what kind of specific talents will go well with certain heroes. This will be kind of a longer one, so sit back, relax guys. Hopefully after this video you'll be all set to, get your heroes set with all the talents and insignias that you need to be able to beat most people in Castle Clash. So first of all, we're just going to go right into the talents, just kind of see what ones they have. They add new ones all the time, so it's kind of hard to keep up with all the talents that they do have. But I think we're just going to start down here at the bottom. So as you can see, there is a lot. So basically, we'll just go through. I'll tell you which ones are pretty decent that I see a lot of people still use, and I'm going to kind of skip over the ones that aren't really that good, so you can just know that, they kind of suck. So Revive is pretty good. It's really good once you level it up. So if you guys don't know how to level it up, I'm sure that you can figure it out. You need talent ruins that you can buy from like the Might shop and stuff like that. So once you start getting to level 9, you actually revive twice with 70% HP restored each time, or level 10, also you revive twice. So basically they die, they revive, they die, and they revive again. So they basically have like 3 lives, essentially. So this is really good for heroes that are really hard to kill, like Lazu, Lavanica, Zephyrica, different heroes like that, where it takes a while to kill them and they can do a lot of damage while they're alive. So I actually have a level 9 revive on my Lavanica, because when he revives, he actually just goes to full HP. Don't use Heavy Blow. It sucks. I'm going to keep most of the talents at level 10. You guys can look at the level 5 ones. Basically, level 10, all it does is it adds attack bonus for like the first 10 seconds of the battle. But this one's really good for heroes that you want to proc instantly. I'll go into that when I get into the heroes. Scorch is really good for negating all damage. So basically, your hero is only going to get hit 20% of the time by any attack. So that it makes them really hard to kill. Don't use Self-Destruct or Deadly Strike. Flame Guard is really good on heroes that already have a damage reflect buff, like Phobos or Valiant Saintis. All of those are really good to use Flame Guard, because it's just going to increase the damage that the heroes receive when they attack them, and it also increases their HP, which is also nice. Don't use Bladeshell. Scatter, not really very good. Slow Down, Sprint, don't use those. Berserk can be good. It used to be good until they added Vampiric Grail, which I'll go over that one in a minute. So I definitely choose Vampiric Grail over Berserk. Stone Skin, don't use it. There's better talents. Same thing with War God. There's much better talents. And Tenacity and Life Drain, there's better ones. Enlightened can be good. I definitely wouldn't get it to level 10 though, but if you have a pretty low level hero, it's really good to have as like a backup talent. And with skins, you can actually have two different talents, and you can kind of switch them back and forth. So when you go and do like HBM or dungeons and you sweep with these heroes, they'll actually get more experience. So you use less books on them, and it's pretty nice for that. Other than that, you shouldn't use it. Bulwark, don't use it. Psy Shield, don't use it. Any of these 3, don't use them. Empower is really good. I use Empower on a lot of my heroes. It's almost as good as Revitalize, except that it doesn't start them with 100% energy, but basically after like a couple ticks, they're at 100% energy, and it also increases their HP. So it's really good for defense, for HBM. It keeps your heroes basically at max energy like all the time, so they can just continue proccing. Sharpen is good in certain situations. It's really good to increase your accuracy, as you can see, and also crit rate, so it's really good on heroes that have a high crit rate already. Feint, not really that good. Brute Force I actually do use on Lazu. I just like that the critical hits deal 1.5 times damage, so if you like the critical hits, if they're a hero that does a lot of critical hits, then that's a good talent to have. Iron Will, not really that great. I mean, it is good because most battles don't last 30 seconds. So, if you have it at level 10, it's going to stay on them the whole time. So it's pretty nice to get 200% more attack and immunity to, all that stuff. Regenerate's really good if your hero has an auto healing skill. So, like, it heals, X% every second or whatever. Then this is really good because it's going to increase that healing. And also it increases healing that they receive by, Walla Walla or any other healing hero. And it also increases their energy recovery by a lot. So basically that means every time they hit, they get more energy. So it also makes them proc more often. Sacred Light is good for your tanks. It increases HP and reduces damage received. So I actually have this on Walla. Unholy Pact is really good for heroes that don't take more than a certain amount of damage. Like I have Unholy Pact on Dovekeeper because really, 18,000 damage isn't a lot, and increasing that damage that they receive by 15% isn't even going to do anything. They're always just going to get hit for 18,000. So you actually want to increase the level up this one as much as you can, because then actually when you get to level 9 and level 10, it actually increases damage received by 15% instead of 20% when it's lower. I think it's even higher when it's lower than that. Oh no, it's at 20% the whole time until you get higher. Zealous Drive is good. So the +1 range is actually like the range that they can attack things. Usually it doesn't matter that much. But the thing that is nice is it's kind of like Sacred Light, except the opposite is it increases your attack and reduces damage taken. Not by as much, but still pretty good. Don't use Vital Boon. Sunder is alright. It's pretty good for heroes that attack really quickly. Because, every time that you attack, you have a chance to deal 30% max HP damage, which is really good for arena and just for killing heroes pretty fast. Survival is really good for heroes that only take a certain percent damage, because, once they get down to a certain amount, it's going to keep regenerating their HP basically to full, and it takes a lot longer to kill them. And so basically they can only be damaged for 4.5 seconds if you have survival on them, unless they're silenced. Nimble is alright. It's good to have these on heroes that are your like tanks, because every time they're attacked, they're going to gain energy, and also raises their dodge by 30%, which is really good. I wouldn't use any of these. They just aren't that good, so don't use them. And it also, just don't use them. Wicked Armor, Wicked Armor and Dragon's Cover are probably the best talents in the game that are the most widely used, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But so as you can see, this one raises your attack and limits reflected damage taken to 5,000. And then if we go over to Dragon's Cover, it's basically the opposite. It reduces damage received by 70% and limits reflected damage. So one's defense, one is attack. Stealth is good. Don't put it on heroes that can receive more than a certain amount of damage, because it's pretty rare that they actually get to below 35%. So like it's good to use on like Dovekeeper, on Lavanica, on what's his face, Zephyrica. But other than that, I wouldn't use Elusive, just because like most of the time the heroes don't actually get below 35%. Vigorous Fury is good. It increases your HP by a ton and your crit rate by a lot if they have at least 45% of their HP. So also another good one to use on heroes that can't take less than a certain amount of damage. Blade Dance is awesome, especially for heroes that have a lot of dodge. It makes them basically invincible. So when the hero dodges, they gain 200% attack and recover 60% of max HP. So basically every 2 seconds they can get healed as long as they're dodging attacks, and also increases their attack. Silent Cover, I don't really see many people using this. It's kind of like for a support hero, just for, probably like Lost Battlefield is pretty good. True Piety is really nice. So it deals true damage, and then also it converts all damage taken into HP for 2 seconds. And that cooldown is 5 seconds. So also, like, they can only be damaged for 3 seconds. So that's pretty nice. It's good for, heroes that kind of take a lot of damage, but also, I have it on my Phobos so that he can heal, and also he can keep, reflecting damage. Soul Healer is also good. So it decreases the crit resist by a lot. And also reduces healing of enemy heroes. So that is really good, especially to kill, like, the healing heroes and stuff like that, like Valiant Saintus and stuff. Fiery Comet's alright. It's just kind of good for, like, destroying bases. So here's Vampiric Grail. This is the one that I would definitely substitute for Berserk. So it raises attack by under 10% and attack speed of 55%. So it doesn't increase the attack speed as much as Berserk does, but honestly the attack is better, and also it recovers HP equal to 100% attack every time this hero does a basic attack. So it's like Life Drain and Berserk in a single talent, so it's really good. Dragon's Cover, great. Negating Prism, also I wouldn't necessarily use it, but it is good to keep the other heroes from proccing. So these two are pretty good. I mean, you should only put them on epic heroes, corresponding to which one they are. So it's just, increases their attack and energy regain. Honestly, nothing super special. Now we're getting into like the newer ones. Healing Riposte, or Riposte, I don't know how you'd say that. When HP is less than 40%, recover 10% of HP every 0.5 seconds, deal true damage, equal to 100% attack to nearby enemy targets every 0.5 seconds, and gain invulnerability all for 2.5 seconds. So this one I actually changed just barely on my Lazu. I don't have stealth on him anymore. I have this one, and also survival. So it's going to make him really hard to kill, and it also is going to deal a lot more damage. This is really good also for heroes that only take a certain amount of damage. These next like 5 are actually in insignias, but they're for what is it called? Let me go over here. I have it on my dove. Whatever these are, adeptness. So like they're the adeptness crests. So yeah, so the next ones you can get as talents, but they're also in adeptness crests. That's kind of the only way you can get them. But these are pretty good if you get them to level 10. So it reduces attack of enemy heroes. I wouldn't really use that one. This one's really good, increases your HP by a ton, and it raises dodge by a lot. This is really good in combination with like Blade Dance and stuff like that. Raises crit rate by a ton, and also deals fixed damage. Lawful Shield reduces a lot of damage. And also you have to put it on Order Bound. Same thing with this one. You have to put it on Voidwalker heroes. Zero in is raises attack by under 50%. When hero attacks, has 50% chance to ignore damage limits of targets for the next 3 seconds. So that one's really good, especially because a lot of heroes that they're coming out with do have damage limits. So it's really good to just have any hero that you're in play with, especially if you don't have those heroes. It's really good to have. Wind's Guidance raises dodge by 30% and max HP by 145%. This one's really good to use with any other dodge talent. And then Victory Horn raises attack by 150%. When attacking, hero and all nearby friendly units gain 10% more healing for 3 seconds and recover HP equal to 345% of this hero's attack. So this one's really good to put on just a healing hero in general, because you're gonna get more healing, and they're also gonna recover HP. So that's really awesome. Okay, so let's get into the heroes. I know this is going a little long, guys, but bear with me. So I'm not really going to go over every single hero in the game. I'm going to be going over kind of best talents overall and what you kind of want to look for. So I'm just going to start, I guess I'll go Wordless Zealot. So you almost always want either Wicked Armor or Dragon's Cover on every single hero, except for heroes that can only take a certain amount of damage. So you don't have to have it on Dove, because even if they do get rebounded damage, they're only going to take 18,000. She's only going to take 18,000 damage. Same thing with Lavanica, even though on my Lavanica I still have Wicked Armor, because there is a point where he doesn't take a certain amount of damage. And Zephyrica. Also Lazu, because when Lazu's proccing, he doesn't take reflected damage. And also Axe Punisher, I do have it on him just because I want that increased attack, but I'll probably change that just because when he is also proccing, he can't take damage, so it's not going to matter. Other than that, you can see almost every single one of my heroes has either Dragon's Cover or Wicked Armor, either in their main talent or in their insignia. That's because almost every new hero that they're coming out with has a built-in reflect damage, and if you don't have Wicked Armor or Dragon's Cover, they will die so quickly. Like my Phobos, for example, he already has reflects 50% of all incoming damage, and I have a level 10 Flame Guard on him. So you take even more than 100% of the damage that you deal to him. And so basically, if the heroes that I'm fighting with Phobos don't have Wicked Armor on them, they die super fast. Like, it's pretty funny. But most people have figured that out, that you do need that on them to survive. So that's kind of like the main rule. Other than that, you can put really any other extra talent that you want on them. So basically, you know, if you have tank heroes, like as you can see, my Phobos, I have Flame Guard. My Valiant Saintess, I have Flame Guard, because they're going to be the ones that I put in the forefront of the battle, and they're going to take a lot of damage, so I want them to reflect as much damage as possible. And then other than that, I kind of just have damage talents on my heroes. So like for Zephyric, I actually have survival because I want him to survive as long as possible, and I have that healing riposte that I was telling you guys about. On Rosaline, I have Revitalize just because, you know, you want her to proc as soon as possible because her proc is really good. Lavanica, I have Revive and Wicked Armor. Bloody Mary, I have Dragon's Cover, and I have Zealous Drive, which I might switch out. It's just good to have some extra attack on her, so because she can go through the damage limits of targets. Braille Fox, Dragon's Cover, and Empower. On him, I might change this out for something else. True Piety isn't the greatest on Ruin Master. And then, of course, I have Dragon's Cover. My Pumpkin Duke actually don't have Wicked Armor. I do have Empower, and I also have Nimble because I want him to proc as often as he can, so we need as much energy as you can. We got Zealous Drive, and then we have Wicked Armor. Storm Eater, we have Revitalize and Wicked Armor. You're going to see a pretty common theme. Wicked Armor and Vampiric Grail. Really good because she already hits like 200% faster, and then that just increases it even more. Cosmo, Wicked Armor, and Empower. Dovekeeper, Unholy Pact, and also Blade Dance. This makes it really hard for her to get killed, and also I have whatever this one is that raises dodge when she's attacked, so she's gonna have more dodge and everything. Occultist, we got Piety, probably need to change that too, and Empower. Walla Walla, we have Sacred Light and Empower. We got True Piety and Flame Guard. On Phobos, Ripper, we have Wicked Armor and Revitalize, and Skeletica, we have Scorch. This is kind of one of the heroes that I use Scorch on because for a certain amount of time he can only take damage. So it says this hero is immune to stun, fear, energy reduction effects, and attacks for 3.5 seconds, and cooldown is 5 seconds. So in that 1.5 seconds where he's not immune, he only takes 20% of the attacks. So he stays alive pretty well. It's pretty nice. I'm not going to be really going over whatever these are. I always forget. Enchantments, because that's like a whole other thing. But basically you kind of just like go with what you want on that hero. If you want them to do a lot of damage, you do a damage enchantment, and so on and so forth. Like I don't really have Alpha Mech too high, but I do have Soul Healer on him. I haven't really used him that much. Okay, let's go to the Epic Heroes now. So on my Axe Punisher, I have Wicked Armor. You could change this out for any damage increase. Actually, I didn't go through my Lazu, did I? I actually have Brute Force on my Lazu because I want him to do higher critical hits. I just have him built out for max DPS, so I have level 10 Revitalize on him as well. So, you know, I just put him in there, he procs, he basically kills everything, and we're done. So Axe Punisher, level 10, level 9 Empower. I want him proccing as often as possible. Then I have Massacre, also level 10, Wicked Armor, and Empower. I also just want him proccing as much as possible. I might put something else on him, though, because sometimes it doesn't work the best and he dies pretty often, but whatever. Young Spark, I have level 10 Dragon's Cover, and then usually I have Blade Dance because he already has a lot of dodge when he's in his he's proccing. But I do have Empower because I also want him proccing as much as possible. And then here we have Emperor Grail and Wicked Armor. I rarely use Demon Stalker, though. I rarely use any of these other heroes. Dynamica, I still need to double evolve him, but I have level 10 Wicked Armor, and then also Empower. You can see that's a pretty common theme of what I have is Wicked Armor with Empower or Dragon's Cover with Empower. It's a really good combo because it makes them not take reflected damage and they're proccing really often. I know this isn't like necessarily the best setup that you could have for any of your heroes, but as I said, if you want to get far in this game, most of your heroes, if they don't take a certain amount of damage, you want them to have Wicked Armor or Dragon's Cover, 100%. Because if not, they're going to die real quick, especially once you get higher level. More people figure out that you have to use reflected heroes, and then you'll just die really quick. That's what I found out pretty fast. Because they actually, when I first started playing this game, they didn't have any talents like that, but now they do, and now you should use them all the time. So hopefully this helped you guys out. If you have any questions about what setup you should use on your heroes, post it in the comments down below. I always respond pretty quickly. And thanks for watching. If you made it to this far, please like and subscribe, guys, so I can keep making these awesome videos and helping all the community out. So yeah, and as always, have an awesome day.